All right, guys, we're going to bring up the headliner for tonight. The reason you're all here, the reason we're both here. Absolutely incredible. You've seen the Chris Gethard show. You followed his career for his entire life. I'm not going to hold it any longer. Doing all New Jersey jokes just for you. New Jersey, give me all the energy you got right now for the one, the only, Chris Gethard!
Let's just get this out of the way right up top. It's called Taylor Ham. There we go. There we go. You can bring it on. It's called Taylor Ham. Now, it's always been Taylor Ham. It'll always be Taylor Ham. I want you to know that I am aware, coming this far south, that saying that into a microphone, I am putting my life on the line. I know that. I am aware of that. There's someone still booing. There's someone still booing to ruin the recording. That's how much we care about this issue in New Jersey. We're the only ones who care. I want to say, I know, like I just set up a situation where someone might spit at me after this show or try to fight me in the parking lot. I have not actually eaten meat since 2016, and I'm ready to knuckle up and throw down for this one. I know how it goes. Here's the other thing I'll say, and some of you guys are really going to hate me for this. Some of you guys who are booing are trying to claim that it's called pork roll and also trying to claim that you're not from South Jersey. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Please, ma'am, sit down. Please. That's the first joke. Someone's already gotten up and semi-charged the stage in anger. This is truly a celebration of the New Jersey attitude. You can't have it both ways, guys. The division between North and South Jersey is not a geographic line in any way. It's not defined by any sort of latitude. If you call it pork roll, you're from South Jersey. Own it. It's true. It's true. We fight about this. We care about this. In North Jersey, we're like Taylor Ham. In South Jersey, they're like pork roll. And then you got poor little Central Jersey going, can't we just all calm down and call it breakfast meat? Like, can't we just... What is Central Jersey, by the way? Is that Flemington? Is that Ewing? What is it? I don't know what it is. Here's one thing I do know. I truly, in my heart, pray and hope that there's at least one exotic dancer in this state who uses the name Taylor Ham. I truly hope that that's a thing. Now, we're here tonight. We're talking about New Jersey. And I think a lot about what it was like growing up here. And people might hear this in the future who are not from Jersey. So I've really been trying to think of examples of things that sort of sum up how we grew up. Because I really think growing up in New Jersey creates a very strange paradox for all of us. I think that for any of us who grew up in New Jersey, there's this strange dichotomy, which is that we thank God that we got to grow up the way we did. And we are simultaneously so furious that we had to grow up the way that we did. Those things coexist very equally. So I tried to think of some examples of things that happen here that don't happen other places. And the first thing I'd like to discuss tonight that I think really reflects this, it's a theme park. It's in Jackson, New Jersey. It's called Great Adventure. It is called Great Adventure. Now, there's an interesting thing about this theme park. We all go there growing up. Everybody goes. Our parents take us there. And yet, all of us, including our parents, have heard a number of very concerning urban legends about Great Adventure. For many of us, well before we ever went there, we heard about the free fall. The incident with the free fall, right? Where they make you wear a hairnet on the free fall because a girl got her hair caught in it and it ripped her scalp off her skull. That's a thing all of us heard about growing up, and our parents still took us there. When I was a kid, there was a roller coaster called Lightning Loops. It went in a big loop this way, and then you went backwards, the same loop that way. One winter, Great Adventure closed down for the off season. When they opened back up, it was gone. They demolished it. Rumor was it's because in the backwards loop, everyone was getting the same type of spinal cord injury. So they demolished it. Another urban legend about Great Adventure. Here's one that's not an urban legend at all. This is true and documented. You can look it up. A number of people tragically died when the haunted house caught on fire. And a number of them died in the Hall of Mirrors, which I would argue is the worst way to die. Just as the smoke inhalation sets in, you're like, ooh, that one makes my face so skinny. Like, worst way to die. And when I was growing up, that was only our second most fucked up theme park. That's what it's like growing up in New Jersey. That's what it's like. We also had Action Park. This is 100 times more dangerous than Great Adventure could ever dream of. Now, I'm not going to dwell too much on Action Park. It's gone viral a number of times online. You can look up a lot of info. But we all know how real that was. You'd get back to school in September after the summer off. You would compare Action Park scars with the other kids. You'd be like, what'd you deal with? Oh, I fell off the Alpine slide, and the denim from my shorts is now permanently grafted onto my thigh. How about you? Oh, I was on the Tarzan swing and the line snapped and somehow I got 2 concussions at once. Like, that's a thing you would talk about in school. I first heard about Action Park. First I ever heard of it when I was very young is the Catholic church in my neighborhood. It was 3 blocks away. It's called Our Lady of Lourdes, West Orange, New Jersey. Every summer, they would bring the older kids, the altar boys, all the older kids who had signed up to be altar boys. They'd bring them on a summer trip to Action Park. This was an early indication that the Catholic Church did not have the best interests of altar boys in mind. There was a kid named Kevin from my neighborhood. He was on a ride. It caught on fire. No one helped. He had to jump off the ride. He broke his ankle. It's a true thing that happened. It happened to a kid in my neighborhood. Action Park was so fucked up. You could go to your dad and be like, hey, me and my friends, we want to go to Great Adventure. And your dad would be like, nah, that place is too dangerous. And then you'd be like, well, we could go to Action Park. And your dad would be like, all right, I'm driving. Let's go. We're going to Jackson right now. You guys doing just the theme park, or are you trying to do the safari too? Because if you do the safari, we're taking your mother's car. I'm not having the baboons fuck on top of my car. So many things about where we grew up that they don't have to deal with elsewhere. Like, for example, in high school, Monday morning, you're catching up with your friends. Here's a conversation that is totally average in New Jersey that I'm certain they're not having other. You show up in school. Oh, what'd you do this weekend? Well, me and Kyle, we went and broke into the abandoned mental hospital. We looked around for a while. We didn't see any ghosts, but there were a couple neo-Nazis in the tunnels underneath, so we had to fight some Nazis. One of them ran off into the woods, but we stomped out the other Nazi. And then afterwards, we went to the Peter Pank Diner, and I got disco fries. Kyle got souvlaki. Why, what'd you do? I just went down to Barnegat. My uncle has a boat. Those are equal answers on Monday morning. Those are exactly the same level of conversation. One is not more impressive than the other. That's an average thing in New Jersey. Here's another thing that I'm pretty certain they don't have in Nebraska or Ohio. Here's another thing. And this area of the state, you guys get this one best. There's certain things that we, like, this is an area of the state where it really probably happens all the time. It happens all the time. Where someone might go, oh, I'm trying to get to this place in Atlantic Highlands. You know how to get there? And it'll be like, well, first of all, don't pay attention to the GPS. It'll fuck you up. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go down 35 South, and you take the second turnoff after the evil clown. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, no, you wait until you see the big, giant, metal evil clown that has the bloody finger that will haunt your nightmares for the rest of your fucking life. And not the next turnoff, the one after that. That'll lead you right to Leonardo, bro. They don't do that in other places. They just follow the GPS. I mentioned diners. They're very important to us. This is a thing that we care a lot about. Jersey clearly does diners best. It's a big part of our culture. We have perfected them. Now, I'll say I've traveled all over the country. There are other places that do diners well, but it's only when they follow our rules. There's certain rules to Jersey diners, and if they obey them, it's a decent diner experience, but they do not always. There's 4 diner rules, in my opinion. There's 4 rules that make a good diner. All of these things have to be true, or else you got a bullshit diner on your hands. 1, if it's not open 24 hours, fuck the right off. You're like, fuck off, you're done. It's gotta be open 24 hours. If you're not open 24 hours, you're just a restaurant that doesn't have the stamina. Like, that's all you are. You're not a real diner, okay? Number 2, if I have to butter my own toast, goodbye. You bring me dry toast with those weird little squares with the foil on top? Nope, not a good diner. I want you to bring it already buttered in a weird, warm, spongy mess that I cannot replicate at home. That's what I want. You bring me my toast. 3, if I ask you for a vanilla Coke and you say, oh, we don't have that, but I could put some vanilla syrup in a Coke for you, I'm going to burn down your fake fucking diner. Because that's what a vanilla Coke is. 4, perhaps most important of all, your waitresses can only be 17 years old or younger, or 55 years old or older. Nothing in between. If you have someone in between, this is a fake diner, and you should be very wary, my friends, because you're getting in on an experience that's presenting itself as one thing that it is not. It's not a real diner at all. I want to address something that I said before. I was bringing up a theme park called Great Adventure. And we have some interlopers amongst us, my friends. There's some people here who are not from New Jersey. Did you guys hear it too? I heard some people shout Six Flags. Those people are not from New Jersey. We don't call that shit Six Flags. We call it Great Adventure. And I do not want people correcting me anymore. People who are not from New Jersey correct us on Jersey shit too often. People say, I'm going to Great Adventure. Oh, are you going to Six Flags? No, I'm not. As far as I'm concerned, that's in Texas. So book your fucking flight and go to Six Flags. I go to Great Adventure. Stop correcting me. I grew up in Essex County. I tell people that I grew up a few towns away from the city of Newark. And they say to me, oh, you mean Newark? No, that's in Delaware. I grew up next to Newark. N-O-R-K, Newark. That's where I grew up. I tell people I grew up in West Orange. They say, oh, do you mean West Orange? No, West Orange. I'm the one who had to grow up there. Let me pronounce it how I choose. I'm the one who got my ass beat every day at Thomas Alva Edison Middle School. Let me at least say it how I want. No more corrections. I'm now going to ask a question that's plagued me for my whole life. This is something I've wondered about, and I've never known the answer to. And it messes with me. Messes with me on quiet, lonely nights. It gets in my head, freaks me out. And I want to be clear. I've been to every corner of this state. I love this place. I've explored it. I've been deep into the Pine Barrens. I've hiked out to the Blue Hole. I've been to the furthest reaches of Sussex County. That's for the mountain folk. That's not for me. I've gone there. I used to work at a magazine called Weird New Jersey where I crisscrossed this goddamn state. North, south, east, west, I've seen all of it, okay? From the Holland Tunnel all the way out to Phillipsburg, all right? Like every corner of this state. And I challenge any of you. Can anyone tell me what's going on in Bayonne? What is going on in Bayonne? Stuff goes into Bayonne, but nothing comes out of Bayonne. You guys ever notice this? And people from Bayonne are the most tight-lipped motherfuckers in this whole state. You get people from anywhere, North and South Jersey. You get people from all different corners of this state together. We're a bunch of shit talkers. We try to outdo each other. We tell stories. It's a big pissing contest. It's part of the fun of hanging out with other Jersey people. And Bayonne people just sit there with a little quiet smirk on their face, and they don't say shit. It's a weird thing, and I want to get to the bottom of what's happening in Bayonne. Every once in a while, you're in Jersey City looking for the highway, and you realize you're in Bayonne, not because you see a sign, but because you feel weird in your stomach. You know you're someplace that you are not welcome. You can feel it. You can feel it. I might argue that Trenton is the brain of New Jersey, and Newark is the beating heart, and Patterson is the guts. And Camden is the bowels. And Bayonne is the appendix. What is that for? What does it do? No one's quite sure. Scientists have tried to explain, but they can't quite get to the bottom of it. People from North Jersey and South Jersey, they legitimately don't like each other within the boundaries of New Jersey. But when they meet each other anywhere else, they're best fucking friends. I might meet somebody from South Jersey tonight out on the boardwalk after this show. They might come up to me and be like, oh, you're from West Orange? What was your weapon of choice in all the fucking gang fights, bro, up there in Essex County? And I'll be like, well, fuck off. Where are you from? They'll be like, Delran. I'll be like, oh, is that real? I thought that was just 3 abandoned mini malls along something called the White Horse Pike. I didn't know that was actually a real place where people lived. And we'll get in each other's faces. If the two of us met at a barbecue in Louisiana, best fucking friend the other one has ever had. Arms around each other. You're from Jersey, I'm from Jersey. Oh, where from? Salem County? All right, yeah, no, we can be pals. Get us back within the borders of this state, we might fucking take each other out. Everyone in New Jersey is just a little bit Italian. Even if you are ethnically and genetically in no way Italian, you wind up just a smidge Italian when you grow up here. Because culturally, it rubs off on you. Like, for example, every single one of us has a friend growing up who would invite us over for dinner and be like, hey, you gotta come eat at my house. My grandma's cooking gravy. And we know that gravy is not brown. That's not the Thanksgiving gravy. That gravy is tomato sauce, and it's the best tomato sauce you ever had because grandma's cooking it. We're a little bit Italian. We know that. Every one of us has a friend who has a framed picture of Uncle Floyd in his basement. They're very Italian. It's a very Italian thing. We know what gabagool is. Mozzarella, prosciutto, we need to know. The old school amongst us might even know that when we need to keep our heads warm in the winter, you wear a goupeline. We wind up a little bit Italian. I think everybody in New Jersey is just a little bit Irish Catholic as well. I think that rubs off on all of us. I think so. This reflects itself in many ways. My favorite might be that I think for a lot of people in this room, if you said to them, who's the funniest person you grew up with? Their answer also coincides with the most depressed person they grew up with. It's a very Irish Catholic quality that sadness and humor are completely enmeshed within one another. Be like, oh yeah, there was this dude I went to high school with, such a ball buster. He had the best stories, lives in a hospital now because he jumped off a bridge and survived. Fucking hilarious guy. Very Irish Catholic trait. I would argue that in New Jersey, everyone winds up just a little bit Jewish, reflecting a little bit of the Jewish faith, our strong Jewish communities. I think this shows up in the way that we all sort of feel like no one's looking out for us and things might not turn out okay. At this point in the show, I'd like to hear where some of you guys are from. I've shared that I'm from West Orange. Where are you guys from?
Bayonne.
You're from Bayonne? Talk to me.
It's real weird. It's real weird. I got out. I mean, I don't...
Notice that he's not sharing any actual information. It's real weird. I got out. And then you kind of looked around like, I'm done. because I'm not allowed to know the secrets. The only story we ever had at Weird New Jersey about Bayonne was called The Monkey Man, about a monkey man who lived by the train tracks. That's it. What's going on in Bayonne?
There's this guy called Captain Bayonne. He's a...
Oh, right, they have their own superhero, I forgot.
Yeah, a guy that wears, like, basically pajamas and runs around town.
There's shit that's gone down there that I can't ever know. True or false?
True.
Yep. Quick answer. Where else? Where else are people from? Neptune. Neptune's not far from here, right? Isn't that Essex Road where there's outlines of the body on the road because the albinos have killed people in the woods? I believe that is. Watch your back on the way home, my friend. Watch your back on the way home. Where else are we from? What's that? Wyckoff, Bergen County. That's awfully nice. Great schools up there. That's really good. Great schools up there. I will say that anyone from Essex County is subtly jealous of people from Bergen County. What's that? You feel the eyes on the back. You can feel the entire room thinking that motherfucker grew up with more money than I did. Wyckoff. The person, just so you know, the person directly behind you just looked at the back of your head and went, where else are we from? Middletown, the evil clown, but also Whippoorwill Valley Road. Watch out. Can't go down that road late at night. The KKK gonna get you in Middletown. Watch your back. Where else? What's that? Maplewood. My next door neighbor. It's West Orange, then South Orange, then Maplewood. I saw that the New York Times wrote an article a few years ago saying that Maplewood is the new Brooklyn. You're giving it a thought. I burst out laughing. Really? A perfectly lovely town with a downtown that has one bookstore and a small movie theater is Brooklyn now? That seems awfully odd to me. Why? Because you have a train and a surprisingly dangerous high school? That somehow translates into the new Brooklyn? Maplewood is the new Brooklyn. Fuck me. I moved from West Orange to Brooklyn so Maplewood could become Brooklyn? I could have moved 8 minutes from my house. Instead, I uprooted my whole life and left the place I love to chase my dream. So fucking Maplewood? There's a place that really fascinates me. It's one of my favorite places in New Jersey. It's up in Lyndhurst. It's called Medieval Times. I really like it. Many of us have been there. Those of us from more well-to-do towns have probably been there as a lark. Those of us from places like West Orange went there on field trips in school because that's how they said they were teaching us about medieval history. Roosevelt Middle School went to Disney World in 8th grade. We went to Medieval Times. That sums up the class disparity of northern New Jersey as much as anything I can think of. I think a lot about Medieval Times because I like it. If you're not familiar, it's a restaurant, but it's so much more. It's a castle. It's also a show. And it's really beautiful in its own way. But I've been thinking a lot that I'm pretty sure that the worst job in America is being a knight at Medieval Times. Because I can't think of a job where there's a bigger disparity between who you get to be at work and who you have to be the rest of the time. Because think about this, you show up, you're one of these knights, you go into this locker room, you put on an actual suit of armor, and you walk out into this battle arena where people start flipping out. We love the red and yellow knight. Red and yellow knight, you're our dude. They're slurping soup with no spoon, screaming about how much they love you, eating roasted potatoes with their hands like animals, screaming for you. And you get to participate in all these crazy games like jousting, and you're riding around on beautiful horses, and there's a king and a princess, and you're working towards them, and all the people are cheering for you. You get to go around with roses roses and throw them to the fair maidens, and people are actually flipping out like you're the goddamn Beatles. At one point, a guy comes out with a falcon and then flies around the room while people are trying to eat food in what cannot be a sanitary moment in anyone's lives. And then you get to the fights, right? You're getting into these actual sword fights with other knights. You're grabbing like a big mace and swinging around your head, and the other guy's grabbing a shield, and you smash the shield to bits, and then you both grab swords, and there's sparks flying off the swords, and people are losing their minds. And then the show is over, and you go back to the locker room, and you take off your suit of armor, and you put on your WPLJ t-shirt. And you put your hair up in a ponytail. And you go out in the parking lot and you're walking towards your 2012 Honda Civic. And it hits you that now you're just another long-haired dirtbag in Lyndhurst. That's all you are. You're just another metalhead-looking dude in Lyndhurst. That's all you are. And you get in your car, and you're driving down Route 3, and you're thinking a little too hard about it, and you're like, you know what, I'm hungry, and I'm gonna get myself some comfort food. So you go to that Red Robin in Clifton, right? And you order yourself a drink, and the drink comes, and the waitress says, no, you know what you like to order? You go, can I please just get that cheeseburger queso dip? And she goes, ooh, I'm sorry, that's actually Applebee's. And you're like, fuck me. You already got the tab started with your drink, so you order some bullshit burger that you never even wanted in the first place. You finish it up fast. You're driving home to, past where 3 meets 46. You live with your parents, probably in one of those weird sections of Montville, like Pinebrook or Towaco, one of those weird sections. You go to your parents' house. You're all riled up. You're real sad. You're worked up. You got some adrenaline left over from the show. You don't want to go sleep in the basement just yet, right? You realize maybe I'll go take a dip in the above-ground pool, cool off a little bit, treat myself right. You're out there. You're trying to stay quiet, doing your best, but fuck, here comes the motion detector light out on the deck. You woke up your mom. She walks out on the deck. She's like, hey. You're like, what? She's like, the dog's doing that thing where he's rubbing his asshole on the carpet again. You gotta find out why the dog's got such an itchy asshole. I never wanted the dog. Fix the dog's itchy asshole. I'm tired of cleaning up shit off the rug. You're like, Mom, you cannot talk to me this way. I am a knight. And she's like, no, you're not. You're just another worthless dickhead like your father. A lot of people like to make fun of us. A lot of people pick on New Jersey. They say it's a dirty place because they've only really seen that section from the Newark airport to Manhattan, right? They say we're uncultured. They say that we have this accent that we don't even have. They say that we're really bad drivers when I actually feel like we're really great drivers. They make fun of us. The rest of the country makes fun of us. And I honestly think they should be thanking God for us. Because without New Jersey, there would be no one to tell New York to shut the fuck up. And no one to keep an eye on Philly. Those are very vital functions. New York is great. I've lived there for a bunch of years because I'm chasing my comedy dream. But we all know that New Jersey is the front line, that when New York gets going about how great it is, New Jersey are the ones to step up and be like, guys, like, Brooklyn's fine. Like, it's fine. Like, yes, it's cool. But some of you guys paid $3 million for a condo that's on the BQE. Like, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Like, New York is fine. It's fine. You know what else is pretty fucking great? Jersey City, and you pay half as much and get to the city twice as quick. Like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And can you imagine what Philly would be up to if Jersey was not keeping an eye on things? What would Philly be doing to places like Baltimore and Richmond, Virginia, if we weren't keeping everything in check? They'd be running roughshod over the entire East Coast, man. The East Coast is like a prison yard, and Philly is the most insane serial killer in this prison. And there's one motherfucker weird enough and tough enough to freak that guy out so he doesn't kill everybody, and his name is New Jersey. If it was not for us, Philly would just be running all over the East Coast going, wah, 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 wah. Just fucking with everybody. Wah, 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 wah. Rocky, Rocky, wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah, Manayunk, Manayunk. That's a neighborhood, Manayunk. Wah, 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 wah. In the next joke, I'm going to claim that I have faced systemic discrimination. I want you to know that I am aware that is not true. I'm well aware that there is real discrimination in this world. It's an extraordinarily serious thing, and that I have not faced it. I am a white guy. I am married to a lady. I want to be clear that I am aware that I've not really faced anything. There is only one area of my life that I can think of where there's anything close to systemic discrimination against me, where the system is actually built in a way that is unfair to me. And it's related very much to the fact that I am from New Jersey. Because I bet a lot of us have commuted to New York, whether for work or pleasure. And I bet in the course of going to New York, a lot of us have passed through Grand Central Station. Grand Central Station is beautiful. It's an architectural marvel. It's a protected historic site. It is beautiful. Everything's made out of marble. There's an Apple store there. People will go to Grand Central Station. They will sit and read books because it is so quiet and peaceful and majestic. In the basement, they have all these restaurants, and many of them have actual world-class chefs. You can download an app and go on a self-guided walking tour of Grand Central Station. There is a tennis court inside Grand Central Station. This is true. You can find it. It's sort of hidden, but you can sign up and play a game of tennis inside Grand Central Station. They have an oyster bar. There's an oyster bar inside Grand Central Station. Now, where do those trains go? They go to Connecticut and Westchester. Would any of you guys eat oysters at Penn Station? Would anyone in this room put seafood in your mouth that you purchased at Penn Station? No, you'd be out of your fucking mind. You'd have to be completely cronkers to eat seafood at Penn Station. I will not eat at the Nathan's hot dogs inside Penn Station. There are times that I have purchased food elsewhere, and when I enter Penn Station, I throw it in the trash because I realize it has touched Penn Station air. It is no longer edible food. It's not a good scene over there. And I mentioned at the top, there's real discrimination in this world. There's sexism. Ladies, it sucks. I know you deal with it every day, and I know how awful it is. Here's one thing you got going for you, though. You've never had to use the men's room at Penn Station. Because any guys in here who have used it know that is perhaps the most fucked up place left on the island of Manhattan. Giuliani just forgot to get to that men's room. Giuliani just whiffed and forgot to go clean up. That men's room is filled with people who can only be described as lurkers. That's the only way. It's the only way for them. And I'm sure, like many here, I can't tell you how many nights I spent standing around in Penn Station waiting for the Northeast Corridor. So many nights waiting for that train. Some of you guys maybe for the Shore Line, the Boonton Line, the Montclair Line, the Morris County Line. We've all been through Penn Station. And something for years baffled me. I'd walk through there and I would always feel like, man, I swear these floors feel slightly wet. It's this weird feeling where they have this like moist, strange, slippery quality to them. And for years, I was like, what is going on? And then finally it hit me. Tears. That floor is covered in tears. And it's only the second most fucked up transit hub they ask us to use. We'd all rather spend 10 hours in Penn Station than 10 minutes in Port Authority. We know that. We know that. I've had a lot of fun tonight. I hope you guys have as well. I feel really great about this place. I plan on moving back here in the next year or so. Your support means the world. This place means the world to me. I think about New Jersey a lot. Anytime I have met with success, I always thank New Jersey, either publicly or in my mind. I remember that the first time I booked a starring role on a TV show in 2010, I walked out to the Hudson River, I looked at the skyline where Weehawken and Edgewater and all those towns are, and I said the words, "Thank you," out loud. The show later bombed horrifically, but that does not remove the sentimental notions of that story in relation to my state. I love the people from this place. New Jersey people, say what you will about us, they are the most honest people you will ever meet. They are straight shooters, they don't fuck around, they'll look you in the eye, they'll tell you how they feel. I don't think that's rude, I think that's commendable. The only thing I think we all really know how to do that we have in common is we work hard, because no one particularly believes in us. So we out-hustle the next guy. And we work hard because our parents did, and because our grandparents did, and because it's all we know, and because we know it's the right way to be. So I say, God bless New Jersey. God bless the people from it. God bless you guys. God bless that hot dog stand that's shaped like a windmill. God bless Rutt's Hut. God bless Jimmy Buffs. God bless Libby's Lunch. God bless the grease trucks. God bless all of them. God bless the fat cats. All of them. God bless that building on Route 22 that is inexplicably shaped like a yacht and contains a Nobody Beats the Whiz. God bless that. God bless the Parkway. God bless the Turnpike. God bless 1 and 9, even when there is traffic. God bless the Pulaski Skyway. Fuck it. God bless that. God bless the PATH train, even though the 3 most disturbing incidents of my life all took place on the PATH train. God bless it. God bless Route 10. God bless every fucking diner in this state. God bless every person in this state. God bless all of you guys. Thank you so much for coming out tonight.